Here we go. Well, that's a really smooth gear change, I have to say, even at that low speed. That's second gear as we enter the 20-mile-an-hour zone. So second gear at 20 miles an hour. It's nice and smooth, it's not jerky. Works very well. I've got all three boxes on because I want to experience it as though you're going on an adventure, although they're not full, they are empty boxes. But let's see how it goes. Over the bump very easily and straight on here, then left at the top with a bit of a hill start. Let's see how we get on here. So put my foot down fine. Oh, wow, that's a really smooth gear change. I didn't even notice it changed gear. Wow, that was smooth. No jerkiness in the gears there. Into third gear at 30. Fourth. So smooth. I don't think I want to be any higher because obviously with the V-twin it's quite rumbly, low down, and anything more, I'm going to put it in fifth just to see, but it'll be horrible. Oh, not as bad as I thought. Sixth at 26, obviously it doesn't like it, so fourth is ideal for 30 miles an hour, which is absolutely fine. Visibility wise, out of the mirrors, I've got about 90 to 95% visibility out of the mirrors. That's pretty good indeed. Yeah, very pleasing that is. Good long-ish mirrors. Very easy. Now the sun is behind me, so that's glaring directly on that dash and I can see everything absolutely fine. The screen is at its highest at the moment, I believe, but that very smooth so far, and I'm not really feeling that weight. 256 kilos, I'm not really feeling it. Very easy to stop, doesn't feel weighty to stand holding it. Oh, I love that rumbly thump, that sounds really good. Oh yeah. Up to 30, no problem at all. I'll be honest, 30 in third gear is probably better, although you can put it in fourth without any rumblings, but I think third is definitely better. It's got almost like a shaft drive gear change feel, or sound should I say. It doesn't feel lumpy. You've got like the clunk as it changes gear, but only sort of sound, not feel. So I don't feel lumps, I don't feel clumpiness. Now, not that it's a problem, but I just want to demonstrate here that you definitely need the clutch to change gear, because if you rev, oh, it does change gear if you roll off the throttle, but if you keep the throttle on it will not change gear at all, and only at the right speed. So third into fourth it goes if you roll off the throttle, which is fine, but it won't do it. So you can't sort of slip it in a way you can with a lot of modern bikes, but it's not a problem, and I don't worry about it anyway. I mean, I'll be honest, even on bikes that have quick shift, unless it's a sports bike, I always use the clutch anyway. But just to let you know, if that's something that you were thinking about. But I do like how smooth it is when you change gear. Oh, if the rotor wasn't there, you'd have done that, mate. We know. the moment I've got it in standard mode. Now if I was to change the mode, can I change the mode whilst on the fly? Hold it. Really? So you're telling me I can't change the mode whilst I'm riding? Let me try again. There's nothing behind me, so I'll stop at this roundabout and see if I can change the mode then. Information, yeah, very good. So there's absolutely nothing behind me. Put it in neutral. I'll try that again in a minute. Anyway, that'll give us the idea of what it's like to accelerate in standard mode. Except it won't, because I'm stuck behind a camper. Okay, well, it's not bad acceleration. It's got that nice induction roar. I like that. The screen's doing a decent job. I'm not really being buffeted about. The only buffeting I got was from sitting behind that camper van, really. Seems nice and balanced at this speed. Got a little bit of a crosswind. It's not really affecting me. Yeah, it's nicely planted. I am going to stop on this roundabout in the little lay-by bit and see if I can change that mode, because it only had standard sitting there. Nice use of the indicators there. Okay, I'm just going to stop here a second. Okay, so we've got mode, standard. Oh, I can see. It's got 4 there. You've got standard, sport, rainy and off-road. But how do you change it? Oh, there we go. Oh, so up is the way and down is... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so this one, the plus changes it. Let's put it in sport, and then that one sets it. Excellent. Okay. Right, that's not bad. So now we're in sport mode. See if that makes a difference in the way it accelerates. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not noticing any difference in acceleration really, just a bit more induction noise. So it goes whoop more, but I'm not really getting much in terms of acceleration. A tad quicker, and I mean a tad, tiny bit quicker, but I'm not really noticing a huge surge in power. I'm going to leave it in sport mode. However, again, you have to think it's an adventure bike. It's not a sports bike, so it doesn't really matter whether it'll do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. As long as it'll sit at 70 all day, which this very much will, it doesn't really matter. Sport mode, traction control is off. Interesting. So no traction control in sport mode. So there's no real advantage really, unless you want sport mode to go off-road. But then you do get a little bit of surge actually. Yes, I did get a bit more oomph there in that third gear. Oh yeah, I take it back. Sport mode does make a difference. On the dual carriageway, when you're going up through the gears, it doesn't make a massive difference, but you get a bit more of a jerky feel as you come off a roundabout in sport mode. I like the way this feels. It's a nice bike. Changes gear nicely, changes direction well. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll take it back. It is definitely a little bit more sportier in terms of surging. Okay. Well, let's go down the twisty bits and see what difference that makes down there. Brakes are decent enough, they pull up well. Yeah, you see that, look? Yeah, okay. Ooh, takes the lumps nicely, and there's lots of bumps down this road. I am going to pull over and put it back in standard mode, because that is one thing I will say: when you're going down these roads, you don't really want it in sport mode, because you go over a bump and it makes you do that on the throttle and you surge a little bit. So you want to try and avoid that. So I am going to pull over for a second and put it back in standard mode and see if that makes a difference when we go over some bumps. Okay, so there, down that way. Off-road, don't want that. Rain? No, rain's probably just dull. Let's try it, shall we? Wow, okay, because I've held it. Rain, tick, good. Okay, let's go. As I said, it's not a massive difference in surge. It does pull decently enough, but the acceleration is a lot more gentle when you are in the gears. So when you're accelerating through the gears, you don't notice a massive amount of difference. It's when you are cruising and then you open it up a little bit, that's the difference. So in sport mode, if you are cruising and then you open the throttle, it surges more. In standard, it's quite serene. In rain mode, it's much more serene, much more gentle. Going over lumps and bumps, absolutely no problems. Nice soft rebound. As I say, if you want to pull away from the standstill, it'll do it really easily, even in rain mode. It's quite pleasant actually. What an enjoyable bike. Especially when you consider what you're getting for your 7,999. That's the big thing. 7,999 for a 1000cc V-twin adventure bike with all this equipment. Now it is sunny, so I'm not going to put the heated seat on. Oh, shall I? Yeah, sod it. Let's put the heated seat on, and let's put the heated grips on. Heated seat, you've got 3 levels. Heated grips, you've got 3 levels. So we'll see how hot it gets. Let's do a turn round. Yeah, it turns round fine without putting my foot down. See, that's in rain mode. So I don't see any problem with that. I'm going to do the same again in standard and see what we get. Okay. Alright, now we're going to try the same in sport mode. They are good brakes. Sport mode. Okay, now let's try that. Yeah, definitely a bit more surge in each gear in sport mode. Okay. For normal everyday, standard is absolutely fine. Oh, I can feel my bum getting hot. Ah, and my hands are getting hot. Oh, so the heated seat works nicely, and so do the heated grips. It's quite an enjoyable bike. It's very easy to ride. I find it very interesting that it turns the traction control off when you put it in sport mode. Why would that be? Surely if you're in sport mode you'd want the traction control. Yeah, my bum is now really hot. And so are my hands. Not ideal on a hot sunny day, but there you go. Oh, I'm getting very hot sweats now. And my hands really warm. Well, there you go. What a great bike. So back in standard mode now. Is there anything I don't like about this bike? Well, there is actually. The fact that you push the mode button and nothing happens unless you actually physically stop. So you cannot change between standard, sport, rainy or off-road until you're stationary. And I think that's a bit annoying. I don't know why you can't do it on the fly. Are they saying it's distracting? Well, so is every other button on here. You could argue that the cruise control is distracting in that case. Having said that, it is one minor thing when you compare what you get for your money. I mean, it turns into corners well enough. It's easy to maneuver. Along these small country roads, standard is much better. I would not recommend sport mode when you've got bumpy back roads, because it can be a bit jerky, because the throttle is much more responsive in sport mode than it is in standard mode or rainy mode. But other than that, the only other thing I would say is you only feel the weight if you have to physically turn the bike round in the road. So if you're on the bike and you have to move it round to face the other way, if you're not sort of 5'10" and above, you're going to have to get off the bike and physically move it. You're not going to do it while sitting on the bike. It's the only other downside really. Other than that, it's got great visibility. It's really easy to ride. It's really easy to change gear. It's got enough power for the type of bike it is. Bear that in mind. I don't want people getting there going, oh yeah, but I can get this for that much money and it's much faster and it's got this much brake horsepower. Yes, it has. But when are you ever going to need that brake horsepower or use it? As long as the bike will sit at 70 and cruise all day long and be absolutely smooth and comfortable, then what else do you need? I mean, I suppose in those terms, then a 500cc is all you want. But if you want a big capacity bike, this is lovely for the money. For $7,999, it's phenomenal. When it pulls out nicely, it gets up to speed, no problems, with no dramas. I like that induction roar. Some people don't like it. I quite like it. And then it's smooth and serene from there on. I've got nothing negative really other than those two little niggles. You feel the weight when you turn around in the road, and you cannot change mode unless you're actually stationary. Other than that, what an absolute bargain of a bike. I mean, who doesn't love a V-twin? I do. I mean, low speed here, 5 mile an hour, the balance is absolutely fine, first gear, no problems there. So I say, that gear change is very smooth, and I do like a smooth gear change. I am vexed, I would say, while the traction control is off in sport mode. It's almost like we're going to make it raw. You want sport mode, that's your choice, but don't blame us if things go wrong. It's that kind of a mentality, it feels. But yeah, other than that, very nice. And as we enter the nice serene little village, it'll do that as well. So it'll do motorway, it'll do dual carriageway, it'll do back roads, it'll do town riding. It's smooth, it's comfortable, it's easy to ride. The only downside, it's heavy if you want to maneuver it while sitting on the bike, especially on the back roads if you want to turn around, but that's not very often, I guess. And you cannot change the mode on the fly, and the traction control seems to be on, except for in sport mode when it's off. Off-road mode, I assume it's off as well, and that's about it really. I am going to test that last theory, because I haven't put it in off-road mode, but I am going to, just to see if the traction control does go off. So let's try that now. Mode, move, 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 set. Oh, what's that? No, yes, okay. So traction control is off, and ABS is now off in off-road mode. So off-road, you get the choice to turn the ABS off, yes or no, and the traction control goes off. In sport mode, the traction control goes off. In standard mode and rainy mode, everything is on. ABS is on and traction control is on. So as we're on the road and we're not off-road, I do need some ABS and I would like some traction control. So I'm going to stop again, put it back into standard mode. Mode. Was going to standard, tick, and there we go. And everything is now back on. Well, there you go. A great, pleasant, all-round bike. What is not to love for this kind of price? And I personally like that induction roar. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and click the notification bell for more uploads in the future. And I will see you very soon. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye bye.